In the deepest regions of the ocean, far below the reach of sunlight, lies a world that feels almost alien. A place where pressure can crush steel, where temperatures hover near freezing, and where darkness is so absolute that even the faintest glimmer of light becomes a beacon of life. For centuries, this abyss remained almost completely unexplored. Sailors imagined monsters lurking in the depths, creatures too strange to belong to our world. But when scientists finally began exploring these deep waters, they discovered something even stranger than myth. A creature so bizarre, so biologically unusual, that it forced scientists to rethink what they knew about evolution, survival, and even reproduction itself. A creature with glowing bait dangling from its head. A mouth large enough to swallow prey almost its own size. And a life strategy so extreme that nothing about it works the way scientists originally believed. This is the anglerfish. And the deeper researchers look into its world, the more mysteries it reveals. The ocean's twilight begins roughly 200 meters below the surface. Sunlight fades here, leaving a dim blue haze. But descend further, beyond 1,000 meters, and light disappears completely. This region is known as the Midnight Zone, a realm where darkness has ruled for millions of years. Food is scarce here. Life is slow, patient, and opportunistic. Creatures drifting through this darkness rarely encounter one another. For many animals, finding food, or even finding a mate, can take months, sometimes years. In such an environment, survival demands extraordinary adaptations. And the anglerfish has evolved some of the most extreme solutions nature has ever produced. At first glance, the anglerfish looks like something from a nightmare. Its body is small and oddly shaped, almost balloon-like. Its skin appears loose and wrinkled, lacking the sleek design of most fish. But the most striking feature is its head. The mouth dominates almost half of its body. Rows of long, needle-like teeth curve inward like the bars of a cage, ensuring that once prey enters, escape becomes nearly impossible. And just above this terrifying mouth hangs something even stranger. A thin, flexible rod extending from the top of its head. At the end of that rod glows a small bulb of living light. This eerie glow is not decoration. It is a hunting tool. In the absolute darkness of the deep ocean, vision becomes one of the most powerful senses. Many deep-sea creatures have evolved large, sensitive eyes capable of detecting the faintest traces of bioluminescence. The anglerfish exploits this. The glowing bulb at the end of its rod, called the esca, produces light through a remarkable partnership with bioluminescent bacteria. These bacteria live inside the esca, generating light through chemical reactions. The anglerfish controls the glow. Sometimes the light pulses softly. Sometimes it flickers. Sometimes it dims almost completely before glowing again. To other creatures drifting through the darkness, the light can look like something small, perhaps edible, perhaps harmless. A tiny organism swimming slowly in the black water. But it is neither harmless nor small. It is bait. The anglerfish drifts silently, barely moving, conserving precious energy in an environment where every calorie matters. Its lure sways gently in front of its massive jaws. And when a curious fish approaches the light, the trap closes. In a fraction of a second, the anglerfish opens its mouth so wide that it creates a sudden vacuum. Water rushes inward, dragging prey with it. The victim disappears between the anglerfish's needle teeth before it even understands the danger. In the deep ocean, hesitation means death. And the anglerfish is one of its most patient predators. For a long time, scientists believed they understood how this strange fish lived. The glowing lure, the enormous mouth, the ambush hunting strategy. These seemed like logical adaptations for life in the dark abyss. But the more researchers studied anglerfish biology, the more their assumptions began to unravel. Because the anglerfish hides a secret far stranger than its glowing lure. A secret about reproduction. One that completely shocked scientists when it was first discovered. The first clue emerged during early deep-sea expeditions in the 20th century. When researchers brought anglerfish specimens to the surface, they noticed something peculiar. Many female anglerfish had tiny parasitic-looking organisms attached to their bodies. These organisms appeared fused to the female's skin. At first, scientists assumed they were parasites, some kind of strange deep-sea organism feeding off the fish. But something about them didn't quite make sense. The parasites always appeared in the same place. They seemed connected to the female's bloodstream. And they possessed tiny fins and eyes that looked suspiciously fish-like. Eventually, researchers made a startling discovery. These creatures were not parasites at all. They were males. In most fish species, males and females look fairly similar. But in anglerfish, the difference is almost unbelievable. A female anglerfish can reach several centimeters, or even larger depending on the species. But the male? The male is microscopic by comparison. In some species, the male is more than 10 times smaller than the female. So small, in fact, that early scientists often mistook them for completely different species. The male anglerfish lives a desperate life. Unlike the female, he cannot hunt effectively. His digestive system is extremely limited. His only purpose, his only evolutionary mission, is to find a female. In the vast emptiness of the deep sea, this task is nearly impossible. Imagine drifting through a black ocean the size of a planet, searching for a partner only a few centimeters long. Without help, the male might never succeed. But evolution has given him one powerful advantage: an extraordinary sense of smell. Male anglerfish can detect chemical signals released by females across great distances. These signals drift through the dark water like invisible trails. When a male senses them, he begins to swim toward the source. Guided by scent, he searches tirelessly. Because once he finds a female, something remarkable happens. Something almost unheard of in the animal kingdom. He bites her. The bite is not an attack. It is a permanent commitment. Once the male attaches himself to the female's body, he releases enzymes that begin dissolving the skin where their bodies touch. Their tissues slowly merge. Blood vessels connect. And over time, the male anglerfish loses almost everything that once defined him. His eyes degenerate. His fins shrink. His internal organs slowly disappear. Until eventually, he becomes nothing more than a living reproductive organ, completely fused to the female's body, dependent on her bloodstream for survival. In some species, a single female may carry several males attached to her body like strange biological satellites. Each one permanently connected. Each one waiting for the moment she releases eggs. When that happens, the attached males release sperm directly into her bloodstream, ensuring fertilization even in the vast emptiness of the deep sea. This reproductive strategy is known as sexual parasitism. And when scientists first understood what was happening, it completely changed their view of deep-sea biology. But even this bizarre system hides deeper mysteries. Because scientists eventually discovered that anglerfish biology breaks another rule. A rule that should make this kind of fusion impossible. In most animals, when foreign tissue enters the body, the immune system attacks it. It recognizes the tissue as an invader and destroys it. But in anglerfish, that doesn't happen. The female's immune system accepts the male's body as if it belongs there. No rejection. No immune response. No biological conflict. For years, scientists could not explain how this was possible. It seemed to violate fundamental principles of biology. Until genetic studies revealed something astonishing. Some anglerfish species appear to have lost key parts of their immune system entirely. Genes responsible for recognizing foreign tissue are missing or inactive, which means their bodies may have evolved specifically to allow this kind of permanent fusion. A solution designed by millions of years of life in the most isolated environment on Earth. And yet, even with everything scientists have learned about anglerfish, many questions remain unanswered. Why did evolution choose such an extreme reproductive strategy? How did their immune systems evolve to tolerate permanent fusion? And what other biological secrets are hidden within these strange creatures of the abyss? Because as deep-sea technology improves, researchers are discovering that the anglerfish's world is far more complex than anyone once imagined. And the deeper we explore, the stranger the story becomes. For much of human history, the deep ocean was considered a silent void. a cold, lifeless desert beneath the waves. But every new expedition into the abyss has revealed a different truth. The deep sea is not empty. It is a vast and complex ecosystem, filled with creatures so unusual that many seem to defy the rules of biology. And among these strange inhabitants, the anglerfish is not simply a predator. It is a key player in one of the most mysterious environments on Earth. Because survival in the deep sea is not just about hunting. It is about balance. Food in the abyss rarely comes from within. Unlike surface waters, where sunlight fuels entire food chains through photosynthesis, the deep ocean receives almost no direct energy. Instead, most life here depends on what scientists call marine snow. Tiny particles of organic debris slowly drifting down from the surface. Fragments of dead plankton. Microscopic organisms. Fish waste. Even the remains of larger animals. This slow rain of nutrients feeds countless deep-sea creatures. But it is rarely enough to support large predators. So animals like the anglerfish must rely on patience. The anglerfish does not chase prey. It waits. Floating almost motionless in the water column, its body barely moving. In the darkness, energy is precious. Every movement costs calories. And calories are rare. So the anglerfish conserves energy with extraordinary efficiency. Its muscles are weak compared to fast-swimming predators. Its bones are light and flexible. Even its metabolism is slow. This creature is built not for speed, but for endurance. For waiting hours, perhaps even weeks, until the perfect opportunity appears. But the anglerfish's hunting abilities go beyond the glowing lure. Its entire body is designed for one terrifying moment: the strike. When prey approaches the lure, the anglerfish opens its mouth with astonishing speed. Its jaw can extend forward dramatically, increasing the size of its mouth in an instant. At the same time, the fish expands its throat and stomach, creating a sudden suction force. Water rushes inward, and with it, the prey. Some anglerfish species can swallow animals almost twice their own size. This ability is critical in an environment where meals are unpredictable. When food appears, the anglerfish cannot afford to be selective. Anything that fits becomes dinner. Sometimes this strategy works so well that the anglerfish swallows prey too large to digest easily. Researchers have occasionally discovered anglerfish with enormous fish lodged inside their stomachs. In some cases, both predator and prey perish together, an unfortunate consequence of extreme hunger in the deep sea. But evolution does not reward caution here. It rewards opportunity. The anglerfish's lure is also far more complex than scientists originally believed. For decades, researchers assumed the glowing bulb simply attracted prey. But recent deep-sea observations suggest something even more sophisticated. Some anglerfish appear capable of moving the lure in complex patterns. The thin rod holding the glowing bulb is flexible and controlled by specialized muscles. This allows the anglerfish to wiggle the lure like a small living creature. In the darkness, the light dances slowly. It may resemble a drifting shrimp, or a tiny squid, or some other small organism. To a hungry fish passing through the black water, the movement can be irresistible. Scientists now suspect that different anglerfish species may even mimic specific prey animals. An evolutionary trick that turns deception into survival. But perhaps the most fascinating discovery about anglerfish does not involve hunting. It involves their place within the deep-sea ecosystem. Because predators in the abyss often have a second, unexpected role. They become meals themselves. The deep sea is home to massive hunters, creatures that dwarf the anglerfish. Deep-diving squid, giant predatory fish, and occasionally, visiting predators from above. Even animals from the sunlit surface sometimes descend into the darkness during deep migrations. When that happens, the anglerfish must rely on stealth. Its dark body blends perfectly with the surrounding water. Many species possess skin that absorbs light rather than reflecting it. This ultra-black pigmentation makes them nearly invisible in the dim glow of bioluminescent creatures. In a world where light is rare, avoiding reflection can mean survival. But the deeper scientists explore the ocean, the more they realize something extraordinary. The deep sea may contain more anglerfish species than previously imagined. Over 200 species of anglerfish have already been identified. Each one slightly different. Different lures, different body shapes, different reproductive strategies. Some species live near the ocean floor. Others drift freely in the open water column. Some females host a single male. Others carry multiple males attached to their bodies. Each variation reveals another evolutionary experiment, millions of years in the making. And yet, despite this diversity, anglerfish remain incredibly difficult to study, because observing them in their natural environment is extremely challenging. The deep ocean is one of the least explored places on our planet. More humans have walked on the surface of the moon than have visited the deepest parts of the ocean. Even today, many anglerfish discoveries come from specimens accidentally caught in deep-sea fishing nets. Live observations are rare. Remotely operated vehicles and deep-sea submersibles have only recently begun capturing footage of anglerfish behaving naturally. And every new encounter reveals unexpected details. Some anglerfish appear to hover quietly like drifting shadows. Others swim slowly through the water, their lures glowing faintly in the darkness. Sometimes researchers observe multiple bioluminescent creatures interacting, tiny flashes of light flickering through the abyss like distant stars. In this alien landscape, the anglerfish is just one of many luminous hunters. Yet despite their strange biology, anglerfish are surprisingly vulnerable. Deep-sea ecosystems are fragile. They evolve slowly. Creatures here often live for many years, sometimes decades, and their populations recover far more slowly than animals in shallow waters. Human activity is beginning to reach even these remote depths. Deep-sea fishing operations sometimes catch anglerfish unintentionally, and as technology improves, industries are exploring the possibility of deep-sea mining, extracting minerals from the ocean floor. Scientists worry that disturbances in these environments could damage ecosystems we barely understand, because every new expedition reveals species never seen before. Creatures that may have evolved over tens of millions of years. Creatures whose roles in the ecosystem remain mysterious. And the anglerfish itself continues to challenge scientific understanding. Its glowing lure, its expandable jaws, its bizarre reproductive system, its altered immune biology. Each feature represents a radical evolutionary solution to life in darkness. But perhaps the most fascinating question is still unanswered. Why did anglerfish evolve such extreme strategies, while other deep-sea creatures did not? Evolution often finds many different paths to survival. Yet the anglerfish followed one of the strangest paths imaginable. Permanent fusion between males and females. Biological light used as bait. Predators that survive by barely moving at all. Each trait shaped by millions of years of isolation in one of Earth's most unforgiving environments. The deep sea remains largely unexplored. Scientists estimate that we have mapped only a small fraction of the ocean floor. Even less of the water column has been studied in detail, which means countless species, perhaps thousands, are still waiting to be discovered. And among them may be anglerfish species unlike any we have ever seen, with new lures, new hunting strategies, perhaps even stranger reproductive systems. Because the deeper we explore the ocean, the more we realize that life has evolved in ways we never imagined. Somewhere in the endless darkness beneath the waves, an anglerfish drifts silently. Its glowing lure sways gently in the black water, a tiny point of light in an ocean of darkness. To a passing creature, it might look harmless, maybe even inviting, but hidden behind that faint glow is one of the ocean's most extraordinary predators. A creature that rewrote the rules of biology and reminded scientists of a humbling truth. Even on our own planet, the greatest mysteries may still be waiting in the dark.